Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the weekly podcast. My name is the one, the only Jedi, Joseph. And here's my partner.
What is up, the people of YouTube? This is the phenomenal, the greatest fantabulousness of Steven. Yami Steven here, coming at you.
Coming at you live.
Live!
Live! Alright, so I want to start out this podcast with my story first, okay?
Okay.
This lady told me at work.
Okay.
Steven?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Alright, I just wanted to hear a reaction.
Oh, sorry, my bad. You're good.
Okay, so here's what happened. So, it was a busy morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're busy. This guy at my window, because I'm drive through in the back of the booth, he's constantly asking me questions because somebody goofed up his order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's asking me all these questions to fix his order, what prices are good for what, because he had coupons also. And I'm also taking lane 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what I hear in my headset for like 2 minutes straight?
This should be interesting. What is that?
Good morning. 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 So my ADHD kicked in and I snapped.
Oh
I
boy.
hopped on the headset and I said, repeating good morning over and over is not going to get your order taken any faster.
Wow, Joe actually lost his crap. Or at least he's...
So, and then I turned off my headset and I was like, oh shoot, I just realized what I did.
Oh, like... It's like, I just snapped out a customer, oh my god.
And it turns out it's this African American old lady. She
Oh.
does this every time she comes here, and I just was. I'm like, oh no. She's like this 60-year-old black lady. I'm like, oh no, I know who this is. Why did I do that? So she goes, who is this? I didn't say anything. My headset is still turned off. So I went on the headset and I'm like, Jerry, can you take this lady's order for me? I need to fix something. He's like, sure, I got you. So he takes the lady's order and I'm listening. And then at the end of the order taking, she goes, who just took my order? And then I hop on mic, private chat, and I'm like, don't tell her, don't tell her. And he was like, I don't know, he's new, I don't know his name.
He's new, I don't know his name.
So you know how I wear my big black Sword Art Online coat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I zipped it all the way up because you know how it has the big collar?
Mm-hmm.
I buried my face in the collar. And when she got to my window, I tried to hide my face.
You were that determined not to get busted, like, nope, mm-mm.
The story gets worse. I bitched at the last second, okay? And then like 3 minutes go by, the line's going through. I took off my jacket because I was hot, and then I hear dun, 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 dun. Shannon's right next to me.
Uh-oh.
Shannon's like, "Did you seriously just tell this lady that yelling in the mic isn't gonna get her order taken faster?" I wanted to say yes,
But what did
but
you
my
say?
mind. So I said, "Yeah, my ADHD kicked in," and she just looked at me, and then she walked away. Turns out the lady actually walked into the building to rat on me.
Oh my gosh.
It gets better. So the lady leaves, okay?
Mm.
An hour later, I feel like shit. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So I walk up to the front counter, sort of kind of apologize to Shannon, and then I asked her if the lady was mad. And she said, oh, she was beyond pissed. And then she's like one of the sweetest old customers we have here. Why did you do that? I said, so I explained to her what happened. I just snapped because of what she did and what I just told you.
Hmm.
And then it gets better. Terry decides to come in at around 10:30, right?
Oh no, this can't be good.
I just got back from break. Terry is like, "Why would you do that?" I said, "Do what?" "Did you really tell this lady that blah 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 blah? Like that getting her order isn't, you know?" And I'm like, "Wait, how did she know? It was just between me and Shannon." Guess what the lady decided to do?
She called Terry, didn't she?
She called corporate.
Oh.
She calls corporate on me after walking inside the building, already being the situation being dealt with. Now at this point, I'm pissed. I'm
Mm.
like, okay. At first, I felt sorry. I was going to apologize the next time I saw her, but now that she had to make it worse, now I just don't feel any pity for you at all because you'd fucking deserved it. Because one, you already walked into the building. I already got, bitched at.
Hmm.
Okay, that's enough. But then as soon as like leaving the place, you had to call corporate on me to make it worse, like trying to actually purposely lose my job. Fuck that. First, I felt sorry. Now I'm just pissed.
It's like all my pity just went right out the window, lady. Like, seriously.
And you know what's funny?
What?
I haven't seen that lady ever since. End of story.
In the story.
Yep, and I'm still good.
And he still has his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like my job, I still have my job.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Right. All right, Steven, tell me some of your stories.
Okay. So, I'm going to tell you a story that happened a couple days ago with Jake and I working table together.
Okay, this
Alright,
is gonna be
so,
good.
well, it was funny to me. I don't know if you'll find it funny, but we'll see. Anyway, so here recently, Jake and I were on table. It's a Sunday, we're trying to bust some orders out. And at one point, I just start randomly singing because I'm bored. I'm like, nothing's being said, and I need to try and at least keep myself awake right now. So I
What were you
started,
singing?
I'm getting to that. I was singing a song called Rub Some Bacon on It. And Jake all of a sudden looks over at me. He's like, "What are you singing?" I tell him what I just told you, and he's like, "Steven, you know that literally just sounds like some kind of weird porno thing, right?" And I never really thought of it like that. But then the next second, I'm sitting there busting a gut laughing. He's just looking at me like, "You realize that's what it sounds like, right?" And then you want to know exactly what I tell him?
Hmm.
I look at him like, "I bet that's some kind of weird thing you say in bed, like whisper something sexy in my ear, like I'm gonna rub some bacon on it."
Ew.
It's like, or if you try and find a prostitute, like what's your fetish, big boy? I like to rub bacon on it. Why do you have bacon in the bedroom? Oh, you'll find out.
You think you could pay a prostitute to do something like that?
I'm pretty sure you could, honestly. I mean, they've done a lot worse.
You're not wrong.
It's like, okay, so it's $50 for every additional slice of bacon you rub on it.
Uh, I'm gonna throw up. I almost throw up. I'm like, huh? Ooh.
It smells like bacon and fish in here.
Ew, no fish.
No fish.
We leave the fish alone.
The fish smell takes all.
Um,
Oh, so earlier, you remember how you were sitting there talking about the cold earlier?
yeah,
Do I have a story for you about cold?
hit me with it.
Alright, so just to set the record straight, this was not a story about truck. This is a completely different story about the cold.
Hmm.
So, last night, I got off of work probably roughly around like 11 o'clock or so, maybe a little bit later than that.
Hmm.
And so, I live about roughly 3 miles down the road. I didn't want to bother anybody to try and come get me last night. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I guess that's just the sign that we need to walk home. And like I just said, that's like a 3 mile walk down the road for me. Yeah, no, this gets better. So obviously, I didn't even have a jacket on or anything. So of course I'm walking down Holt Road with no jacket, a cup of cold Coke in my hand, and, literally I'm wearing like a string of Christmas lights around my neck. They're flashing colors. I was just, yeah, you can just imagine a guy in a McDonald's uniform walking down the road with a cup of Coke, bunch of Christmas lights flashing around his neck with no jacket on.
I can imagine like a car pulls up to you and be like, I like your bling.
Like, nice bling, bro. Like, thanks.
Why would you do that?
Believe me, my friend, the alternative was not very pleasant.
What was the alternative?
Getting yelled at. I'd much rather freeze to death than get yelled at.
Get yelled at for what?
Well, my family doesn't like it when I stay late anymore, and if I stay late, then I get yelled at. So I'd rather freeze.
That's stupid.
No, there's actually a lot more to the story than that.
Alright, continue.
Alright, so let's keep in mind, like, when I left the store, my phone was roughly about 65%, right?
Alright.
I roughly get about maybe halfway down the road or so, and all of a sudden my phone just immediately shuts off. Like keep in mind I'm using the flashlight in the darker areas of the road because I can't see anything.
Oh no!
Yeah, so literally I have my flashlight on and all of a sudden my phone dies. I'm like, why did this thing just die? Like it had 60%. And then I realized because then my phone turned right back on with only 10% battery, and I'm like, no, my phone froze. Like it's so cold out here, my phone froze. So literally, I'm at 10% of my battery left. So I'm like, this is not good. I have to keep this in my pocket for case I actually need to use this 10% for something actually important in case something happens. So I'm like, okay, I guess we gotta walk in the dark now because I gotta try and use my vision to the best of my ability and hope I don't fall or something happens.
You know I'm gonna say, right?
I'm retarded because literally I've kind of been bombarded with that all day.
No. I'm calling you retarded because you keep forgetting to bring your jacket to work.
It's not that I forget, it's more that I don't bother to bring it.
Dude, bring your fucking jacket.
Yeah, I really need to start doing that. That way at least I don't freeze or come close to freezing to death.
It's in the middle of December. Winter hasn't gone yet. Where is your jacket?
It's up in my closet. No,
I
it's
told you this last time.
dude, everybody tells me this every single time I walk out with no jacket.
Maybe because I'm your best friend, you'll actually listen to your best friend this time, right? Two times the charm. Why not?
Actually, it's 3 times the charm, but I don't know if we're gonna go the 3-time route. No, see, like, no, see, the whole bad thing is terrible because literally, like, at one point my hands start getting numb because I'm holding a cold cup in the cold air, and then my arms start freezing up because like I can even feel my muscles tensing up. I'm like, oh shit, this isn't good. If my feet freeze,
Oh
I'm
my.
done for.
Are you gonna forget your jacket?
Probably, but I really hope
Oh,
not.
dude, that's weird, especially at night.
Yeah.
It's like freezing temperatures. It's like 15 degrees at night now.
No, it was actually 30 degrees when I checked it when I got home.
Yeah,
So yeah,
30 degrees can only feel like 30 degrees for so long.
well, I know it's like at first I thought the wind was getting worse. I'm like, no, if this wind gets worse, then I will literally freeze. I have to, and literally the entire time I'm sitting there telling myself like, you gotta keep pushing forward, you gotta keep pushing forward.
See, cold hands, cold arms, that don't bug me, but that's why, I don't know if you noticed, why I always have a bandana attached to my pants.
I've actually never noticed
Because
that.
it's, yeah, next time you see me, you'll take a peek or whatever, but I always have a a bandana attached to me because I know there's always a chance I could either go home early or something fucked me and I can't get a ride, so I gotta walk. I always cover my face no matter what. The rest of my body, I don't give a shit, but I always cover my face because walking in the cold and your face is frozen, fuck that.
Yeah, true. No,
Are you
there's
gonna
actually
forget
one
your
more
jacket?
part. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are you going to forget your jacket, son?
I hope not. That's all I'm gonna say, I hope not.
Oh my god, I will spam you with messages every day.
Like, don't forget your jacket, dumbass. But actually, there is one more part of my story I want to say.
Go ahead.
You know, part of the whole reason, like, I was a little, like, cautious about everything, because actually, in my neighborhood, there actually have been some wolf slash coyote sightings in my area. Areas.
They're just coyotes.
I know, but if those things travel in packs and you're all by yourself, not very good, especially at night.
Um,
But no, see, that's what scared me the most because when I got roughly to about there's like a little lake near the road, near Holt Road by Central Crossing and all that, and
yeah,
my
I've seen it.
yeah, and so I'm walking about in that area, and all of a sudden I hear like a lot of ducks, like maniacal duck laughter, and that starts scaring me because I'm like, what if there's some ducks getting murdered by wolves over there? Like I won't survive. Because literally,
Ducks.
Because literally all you hear is in the pitch black darkness, like, oh shit.
I've had to walk home from work a couple times on third shift and uh, even during the day, first shift. Now, do you know where I live exactly?
No, I actually do not know where you live.
Okay, I literally live right down the road across from Thornton's, right? And
Across from Thornton's?
I'm not going to get too detailed because we're on the internet at the moment.
Yeah, good point.
So, every single time I have to walk, I always have to walk past the big ass pond, and there's goose and duck shit everywhere. And I remember one night I had to walk home, and it was so dark and foggy that I couldn't see in front of my face. Like I couldn't, if I put my hand in front of my face, I couldn't see.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I had to like use my phone to flashlight it. For some reason, my phone's pretty good when it comes to the flashlight. You have an iPhone, don't you?
Hmm.
That's probably why.
That's probably why.
iPhones suck, in my opinion.
Personal opinion.
But yeah, walking home in the dark is fun.
Maybe walking home when you actually have a light is fun. When you're walking down the road with no light, then that sucks.
So was it pitch black when your phone went up?
If I wasn't
Did
by
your eyes adjust?
a little bit, but when I wasn't like near some kind of light source or something, then yeah, no.
So could you walk home in the dark and know where you're going? Because I could do it.
I can do it because literally, if I all I have to do is just walk a straight line. That's literally all I have to do. It's not that hard.
That's 3 miles though. Mine is like a mile and a half.
Yeah, literally, the bad thing is like literally that is like can be an hour and a half to 2 hours of walking depending on some stuff.
Mine is the shortest I've speed walked. My record is 30 minutes, but my long record is an hour and 10 minutes because one, the cold or the heat. It just bad weather days. On a good day, I could speed walk home in like 30 minutes. But from where McDonald's is and the high school is, I'm just like, well, that road, so
Yeah,
God, that takes forever.
I know, like especially just where all the schools are from McDonald's, even just like driving it takes like 5 minutes. Like that's not that bad, but walking is 1,000 times worse.
Are you gonna bring your jacket, son?
I'm gonna start trying to now. At least that way, I'm not. If I have to walk, I don't have to freeze.
Speaking of walking in the dark, you want to talk about ghost stories? Do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in ghosts, yeah.
You want to talk about ghost stories?
Well, why
Since we
not?
still got like 40 minutes left.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
do.
you go first. I got plenty, so I could talk as long as I want.
Well, I can't really think of any ghost stories at the top of my head at the moment, so I'll let you get a story or two in first.
All right, well, I got so many, so you're gonna have to give me something, like give me something to work with.
Uh, yeah, right here. Give me a second to think of a ghost story. Oh,
Like ask me questions or something.
okay. What ghost story or what ghost encounter scared you the most and why?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Um, if I had to choose, it would probably be the bike trail.
All
Okay,
right.
so going towards a road, there's a bike trail, right, with the railroad tracks.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I my house is literally on that bike trail, so I can literally step out of my house, walk across a field. I'm suddenly on the bike trail. Okay, so let me tell you, I got plenty of bike trail stories, but I'm actually gonna tell you the one that actually made me jump.
All right.
Actually, no, I got two, but I'm gonna start with the bike trail one.
Okay.
So me and Tony. Tony is my best friend, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I've known this fucker since fifth grade. Me and him are a huge believer in ghosts and spirits, all right? So we are walking on the bike trail. It's probably like 12 o'clock at night. Okay.
Okay.
So as the night gets older, it starts going around witching hour, which is between 2 and 3. And
o-
then that's when I realize we're out, so I got to get back home. But we're walking on the bike trail, and these trains have a habit for parking dead cars on the railroad tracks, like, train cars.
Mhm.
So we're walking, and this is all in the same night. So we're walking,
Okay.
and I notice that there's a figure way behind us. Me and him turn around. He shines his phone flashlight, couldn't see the figure at all, but you could see it like in the silhouette of the night sky because of the hills. I'm like, it's either a human or something's following us. So we go deeper. We don't know how, but this motherfucker caught up to us. I heard footsteps behind us, and I saw the shadow like dead behind him. I was like, He was like, what? So he turns around really quickly because, shines a flashlight in this black dude's eyes.
Oh
He
boy.
puts the phone down. He goes, sorry, bro. And he just stared at Tony walking away. And then me and him looked at each other and busted a gut. And he called me retarded because it was a human. Somehow this dude like caught up to us because we were pretty far away. So anyway, the guy disappears. We're still walking, and we walk past the train car. Okay,
Mhm.
we decide to look at it. We're like, it's just a train car, whatever. And as we're walking away from it, we hear this loud ka-tunk.
Oh boy.
What sounded, what we can interpret, what sounded like somebody threw a rock at the train car because it's a tank. It's basically a tank on wheels. Okay,
Okay.
like so you hear this giant metallic, and we look at it. We both shine our so we both shine our flashlight at it, and we were like, "Do you think it was that guy?" And he said no because he saw the guy get off the trail. So we look around the trail cart, and all of a sudden, the train cart starts rocking,
It starts
and you
rocking.
hear this metallic rocking like it was moving on its own, like it moved up an inch. It scared the. We don't know, but it's impossible because train cars are like really propelled to the ground when they're locked in.
Mhm.
It moved, and you just hear this huge metallic screech as it moved an inch, and we were like, okay, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
So we're starting to walk back. And this is still the same night. Part three. Okay. We're
Okay.
walking away. We're like, okay, let's go home. And then me and him started talking about creepy pastas. Do you know what creepy pastas are?
Yeah, I know there.
You know, Slender Man, The Rake, Jeff the Killer, etc. We were talking about creepy pastas because back around this time, we heard that the Slender Man movie was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You remember? Okay. So we're walking, talking about creepy pastas, and out of nowhere, I am seeing a second pair of legs walking right behind Tony.
Oh boy.
I shined the flashlight first because it was an instant reaction. The
Mm-hmm.
footsteps, like the legs, disappeared. He was like, "What?" I said, "Some guy wearing dress pants and shiny shoes was walking behind you." He was like, "Don't start." And I said, "I'm not." And he knows when I'm lying too because I start laughing when I'm lying. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I had a straight face this entire time. So yeah, some dude in a suit was following Tony on the bike trail.
Oh jeez.
Scared the fuck out of me. And he looked at me. There are goosebumps going all up my arm.
Dang.
So that's one of the stories that got me really good. And another ghost story that got me was when do you remember when we had a power outage like maybe 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think yeah, I remember a power outage, but yeah.
So 2 years ago, my neighborhood had a huge power outage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm trying to do something. Okay, there. So we had a power outage. The neighborhood is black. I just woke up from a nap because it was my day off. I was still on third shift, so I'm just napping, and I woke up at around maybe 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's black as shit. Like, I had to go upstairs, figure out where everything was, and I look outside. I'm like, why is it black outside? And then I go to the other side of the house. I'm like, oh, the power's out. Mom and dad's at work. It's just me and my brother, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, it starts raining outside, like full on thunderstorm rain, but it's still black as hell. So every time you see lightning, it would light up the house and then disappear for a solid second.
Wow.
So we were like, okay, I'm getting freaked out. This doesn't feel right. And I'm texting Tony at the time. I'm like, doesn't this power outage feel weird? And he said, yeah, I know. I feel like all the spirits are right. I'm not trying to sound like a fucking warlock or some shit, but he could tell that something was off
Mm-hmm.
because the atmosphere was just horrible. I'm being serious. I cannot relive this ever again. So I'm going in the basement, getting all my stuff, trying to find flashlights, matches, whatever. And there is this little window in the basement
Mm-hmm.
that's connected to the utility room, washer, dryer, whatever, under the steps.
All the good stuff.
And that's the only window, yeah, that's the only window and light source, well, sunlight in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning flashes. And I see this tall, black, skinny figure within the flash,
Oh boy.
just standing there. And then when the flash stopped, I'm like, oh, hell no. So I ran upstairs, grabbed my knife, went back downstairs like an idiot to see if he was still there. It
My
was
God.
just a silhouette. It literally looked like Slender Man was standing there.
Oh jeez.
Like he had really tall legs. He had a short head though because the ceiling's pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
But I never saw him again until later on the next year. This was during I used to sneak Tony over all the time, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
sneak him over to my house because we were in the middle of remodeling and parents didn't want people over. So I snuck him to my house, hanged out, played PlayStation. He went to go downstairs to use the restroom, and I'm still in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I hear him flush the toilet, quietly, and then he starts coming back upstairs. All of a sudden, I hear his footsteps stop at the steps.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet for like a minute, and then he slowly opens the door and comes back in. I was like, bro, what's wrong? He's like, I thought I ran into your mom because ironically, I would actually sneak him over while my parent was sleeping because she worked at nights at Walmart.
Hmm.
Good times.
Ironically,
Those are
like,
I got that's another story for probably another day. And I was like,
really
"What do you
quick.
mean you ran into mom?" Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt, but I just want to say, like, Joe, you got some massive cojones to sit there and try and sneak your friend in when your mom could possibly just pop in at any second.
Oh, dude, I have another story about that. Hold on.
Actually, I want to hear how this
Anyway,
one story ends.
okay. He's like, "Oh, bro, I thought I ran into your mom." I'm like, "What do you mean you ran into my mom?" He said he's trying to go up the steps like pitch black, and so when he reaches the entrance of the room, my room, and at the time, sorry, I got gas right now.
No, you're good.
Burping out of control right now. Anyway, so my room and mom and dad's room is connected like literally next door.
Mhm.
And so apparently while he was trying to crawl up the stairs quietly, he this huge black thundering figure was standing over him. And it's pitch black, so you can't identify who or what it is.
Mhm.
But he tells me, I'm like, what do you mean there was a big figure standing in your way? He said, when I went up the stairs, I bumped into a black figure and it was just standing there. I'm like, what do you mean it was just standing there? It was just standing outside the doorway. I'm like, oh, that's
Oh.
nice. He probably came back. I'm like, what do you mean he came back? And I told him about the blackout story,
Mhm.
and he said, "Oh my God."
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, I just ran into one of your house ghosts. I'm being serious. We actually probably have like maybe three entities in the house. I don't understand why. One attacks you in your dreams. The other one wanders around because it actually got Larry the other day too. My brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently when he was sleeping in the living room, like I said, we're still remodeling, so we're all sleeping everywhere at the moment.
Mhm.
They're sleeping on air mattresses in the living room right now, and mom's working late. It's just literally me in the house. And this was actually the same night I had food poisoning the other day because I didn't go to work.
Mhm.
He thought it was me. He thought I came out from the basement, slept in the bed in the living room because I was throwing up.
Mhm.
Turns out some dude wearing he could hear some guy wearing boots walk across the living room, sit in the bed, and he shines his flashlight. And when he's looking at the bed because he thought it was me, you can see the pressure of someone's butt sitting in the bed. Like if you know how you sit at the corner of the bed, the bread pushes the bread pushes down.
The
The
bread.
bed pushes down.
Mhm.
The bread. Well, he's staring at it, confused, and all of a sudden it pops back up as if someone stood up. He was like, "Oh shit!" and then he fell back to sleep.
It's like, oh my gosh, falls back asleep right afterwards.
All right, now it's your turn, tell me one.
Well, first, before I say anything, I gotta say, like, Joe, you got some very interesting things going on at your house, I tell you.
I'm very open to the supernatural, and I accept the fact that they exist. So therefore, I am haunted more. Well, not haunted, but I acknowledge more activities more.
I sort of just imagine like pulling yourself a glass of milk and sounding like all the dishes just fall over. Like, hey Bob, what's up?
No, we don't have poltergeists.
Never
Stuff
rule it
like
out.
that has happened. Like seriously, you've never, maybe as a kid, but you've never had moments where in the middle of the night your stuff just randomly falls.
No, I've had stuff like that that happens. Now here, actually, now that you've mentioned it, I actually do have a story now to tell.
Okay, go ahead with all your stories.
Okay, so this story was actually here pretty recently. Uh, what the world? Anyway, so it's late at night. I'm going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, I don't know why, but like I hear like this really weird rumbling right underneath me. And I'm like, okay, I really don't
What
know.
do you mean
Like I don't know, like I felt like something was shaking, like out of the ordinary. I couldn't really explain.
underneath you, like as if you were standing on something,
No, like
or
yeah,
in the next floor?
if I was sitting on something, like there was like some weird rumbling, like underneath the floor below me.
In the floorboards is what you're saying?
Well, I can't, like I said, I don't
Like,
really.
Like, say you're upstairs, like you could hear something going on in the kitchen from downstairs.
Well, not hearing
I
like
don't.
I'm trying my best to describe it, but like I said, it's kind of difficult to describe.
All right, I'm gonna stop talking then.
But let's just say like there's some rumbling going on downstairs, not like a noise, but like something was like just rumbling, like I could feel something moving.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there like using the bathroom, like I don't know what that was, but not like I'm gonna investigate right now. So I just leave it alone because I'm like, it was probably nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like as soon as well, do you know I walked off and I didn't hear anything. Well, like maybe a couple hours later, I'm minding my business. I walked out of my room to go grab a snack, and all of a sudden, like I hear like this huge crash, like downstairs, like that scared the living crap out of me. Like I almost had a heart attack right there. So I go downstairs to go investigate really quickly. Well, at first I didn't go investigate because I'm like, this is how a horror movie start. I'm like, I'm not going down there. Nope. Mm-mm. So like after like 10 minutes, I muster up the courage to grab a baseball bat and I walk downstairs to see what it was. I'm looking around expecting to see like some kind of damage, something on the ground, something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything. Like nothing's out of place, nothing's on the ground, and I'm like, what in the world was that? Like literally nothing is wrong downstairs. I don't see any traces of anything. And I'm sitting there looking retarded because I got a baseball bat in my hands expecting to whoop a ghost apparently.
So like you hear this giant rumbling noise and then a thundercrack. Well, something you hear stuff fall, but you never found out what it was.
Yeah, like I literally didn't even see what it was, did nothing.
That's so weird.
I know that's why I literally almost had a heart attack one time because I'm like I don't even know what this noise was. I didn't even know where it came from, and to top it off, there was nothing even there.
Mm,
I mean,
I
it's not
won't.
as
Go ahead.
I mean, to be fair, it's not as creepy as your story, but I mean, still in the black of night when you hear something like that, you're obviously going to be a little creeped out.
I'm not going to stray away from ghosts a little too much, but when it comes to noises, there is probably a noise that I that can I, that
Like,
I can't talk. There is a noise that I've heard that cannot be beaten to my own ears. Um, Ohio was having some bad thunderstorms one year,
mm,
and one of the purple zones started hovering over Galloway,
okay,
and I remember watching. Well, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and my mom is coming from upstairs because she's getting ready to leave for work, and out of nowhere, lightning hits the street. Like an actual lightning bolt hit my road.
dang,
The noise of thunderstruck is the loudest thing you can ever hear in your fucking life. It sounds like a Civil War cannon going off right next to your ear. That's how loud that was. We
dang.
see this big ass flash, and I can see the lightning hit the street from the couch. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, holy shit, that's loud. It made me jump so high out of the couch. I almost flew across the living room. That's how loud that was. Nothing can ever beat that to this day.
Dang.
Okay, now let's go back to ghosts. um, oh, it
Oh,
was so loud.
actually, here I may have told you. I actually have a story. I might have told you this story, and I might have not have, but I want to find out for myself.
Okay.
And this kind of ties into like both a dream and reality both at the same time, but I'll explain that later.
Hmm.
So did I ever tell you about the weird dream I had with Slender Man?
No,
Okay.
you. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
We'll go ahead. Okay. So obviously I'm sitting there sleeping. I'm having a good dream, and then all of a sudden, I don't know why, but I started dreaming of like sitting in the Simpsons living room just watching their TV, right? I don't know why I was dreaming that, but I just did. And literally don't. There's nothing on TV. All it is just a bunch of static on like a regular TV. I'm like, okay, why am I just
They're
sitting here staring at
here.
static? Wait, what'd you say?
Poltergeist. I
Poster.
said they're here, like the poltergeist.
They're here.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's alright. So I'm just sitting there staring at the TV, not really knowing what I'm doing, and all of a sudden I see like these two like red eyes just staring at me. Not like actual eyes, but like red circles, kind of like resembling eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, that's creepy. I don't know why I'm looking at that or why it's looking at me. So immediately, like I wake up, I'm like, okay, like I don't know why I was dreaming of that. And literally, I look at my doorway, right, because my door was open at the time, and all I see is like this tall black silhouette figure like just staring at me, and I'm like, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. I start hiding my like I put my head underneath the blanket. I'm like, this cannot be real. Like I'm just seeing things like that's not Slender Man staring at me in my doorway. And
I've had dreams like that.
I know then I peek my head back underneath the covers and it's gone. I'm like, and literally my heart is like pounding out of my chest because I'm like, did I just see what I thought I just saw?
I hate dreams like that. Like you'll think that it's so real that you think that the monster you're facing is actually real too.
I know, like, see, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't typically have dreams or nightmares. It's just, oh, darkness, and I wake up. That's it. So when I
I
see
love
stuff,
having dreams.
huh?
I said I love having dreams.
I know, I wish I had more dreams, though. But anyway, I'm sorry, go ahead with your story.
I don't think I had a story, but going off topic, there's actually a vitamin that actually helps you produce more dreams.
Really?
I can't remember what it's called. It's like B12 or something, but it helps your mind. It's good for your brain and it helps you dream better for some reason, I think. Anyway, well, I think oh my God, we could talk about dreams all day. Um, I hate having good dreams.
You hate having good dreams.
I hate having good dreams because then you gotta wake up and then you're depressed again.
Yes, like I hate that so much. I've been in the middle of so many good dreams and someone's interrupted me from it.
No, not just waking me up. Like I'll have a really great dream about something. I don't, God knows what. I haven't had one in a while. And then I just have to wake up. And then I'm like, oh, I was so happy in there. Can I please go back to sleep?
Can I please go back to the dream world, please?
Pretty much. Yeah.
No, like,
Um,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like in my case, like I just whenever I have like a good dream, like somebody always has to wake me up for something. Like I could literally be thinking of the dream, like I could be thinking of something very much so the night before I go to bed, and I dream about it, and I'm like, this is the best dream ever, and someone wakes me up either by calling me or waking me up. And I'm like, why did you have to do that? Like I just had the one in a million dream that I've wanted for years, and you just ruined it.
I was about to get laid.
We're not gonna go.
I've done that to my. I've done that. I think I've done that before. I don't remember who it was, but I was having this dream. I was about to have sex, right? You
Oh
know,
my god.
sex dreams. And I don't remember who, but somebody woke me up. And I'm like, I was about to get laid. Why?
Like, why did you do that?
Oh, good times.
I swear, I've had a couple of those dreams of this. If I've watched a good show and I'm just about to get some, I'm like, why did you have to do that? It's not
Do you
fair.
ever have dreams of like TV shows?
Sometimes.
One of my favorites, and this is actually weird. I'm going to be brutally honest about this one. You know the TV show Supernatural, right?
Hmm.
Sam and Dean, the whole ghost hunters, and all this other shit.
You know, all
I
that stuff.
have supernatural dreams all the time. And you know what's weird?
What?
They know who I am every time I come back into a different dream. So,
Really?
like, say in a dream, me, Sam, and Dean are like ghost hunting. I'll feel my body wake up, and I'm like, sorry guys, I gotta go. and then I'll wake up. A couple weeks later, I'll have another supernatural dream, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, you're back. You want to help us with this hunt?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's so weird. They know who I am every time I come back.
Say, feel privileged you have dreams like that. I never have a dream like that.
I have quite the imagination. I hate one of my weirdest ones is my nightmares back when I used to have them as like a kid or whatever. I used
Mhm.
to have this repeating nightmare where a monster is chasing me in a mansion. Actually, every now and then I still get them. This
Mhm.
monster is chasing me in this house, and it's weird because I actually know the house. Like I know all the escape ways, I know all the ways to get around the house and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
But there's always this room in the house that spawns randomly where if I'm not too careful going inside the secret tunnels, I'll end up in this room. And inside this room, once you're in the room, you're trapped, but the door's locked.
Hmm.
So out of nowhere, the door starts opening. So I run to the door with my hands on the knob, slamming the door closed. I lock it, but every single time I lock it, the monster always seems to get it unlocked on the other side somehow. And
Hmm.
I'm always like gripping the doorknob tightly to make sure it doesn't get in. And but whenever the door slams open, I always wake up from a fucking heart attack.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's one of my repeating ones back when I was a kid. It's so weird. I still don't know the meaning behind that one. Oh, you know what my favorite one are?
What?
Highway dreams.
Now, what do you mean
You
by
ever
that?
have dreams? Okay, you know the freeway, right?
Mhm.
Like say you're driving on the freeway, highway. You say you're driving on the freeway, right? The
Mhm.
ground below you starts to disappear. You're still on a road, but the road becomes a giant bridge. And below you is nothing but emptiness or water. Mine's water. Other people it's just darkness. And there are bridge highways everywhere.
Okay.
You've never had these?
No, I've never had those.
Oh, highway dreams are so common. Well, usually how mine start up is I'm driving in this Mini Cooper, like I'm driving in some sort of SUV, right?
Mhm.
And I'm on the freeway, and then this construction site will pop up. Turns out they shut off one of the roads, and the road is missing. So I try to jump the road to get to the other side of the bridge. But sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. But when I do, the the ground below me disappears, and the highway becomes a bridge, like a bridge highway.
Hmm.
And excuse me. And God, I'm tired.
No, you're good.
And I'm trying to drive, and either another car pushes me off, and then I to the ocean.
Hmm.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it definitely kind of sounds like it. Uh, no, you know what? I actually have a kind of a weird dream, and when I told people about it years before, they looked at me like I was crazy. But I feel like this would actually be a good conversation for this podcast.
Okay.
All right. So this was like many, many years ago. Like when I was a kid. That's how young. That's how long ago this was.
Hmm.
And there'd be nights where I spend the nights on the couch watching TV or something. Or just sometimes I had to sleep on the couch sometimes. And there'd be times when the heater was on. I'd just take my blanket, my pillow over there, and I'd sleep on the heater.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know why, and I don't know how, but this nightmare dream, I don't know how you want to interpret it, but I had this one dream where literally, I don't know why, but Britney Spears was bashing me over the head with a guitar while I was sleeping.
My question is why a guitar?
I don't know, and of all the questions, why would you ask that one?
Well, I've had dreams where I've been stabbed.
I know, but it's just weird where I have a dream where, like, I don't want to say like getting stabbed is common, but what does it really say about, like, what does the dream typically tell you when a celebrity's beating you over the head with a guitar of all things? I mean, seriously.
Wait, what celebrity was this?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears is hitting you with a fucking guitar.
Yeah, like literally, I'm in the exact same room in the exact same scenario, like just laying on the heater and all that, and all of a sudden, like she stands over me, like in the movie, like in the movies where you see the character about to get whacked in the exact same
Yeah.
fashion, and she starts beating me. And the second I get hit with the guitar, I wake up like with a heart attack.
From what I remember, dreaming about celebrities usually means you look up to them, but I never looked up the definition of when a celebrity attacks you. So you might have to look that one up on your own. But
Yeah,
in my dreams, yeah, you never what?
I never looked that up. Like I just passed it off as some kind of weird delusion. I'm like, okay, I'm crazy. Like let's just move forward.
Yeah, in my dreams, whenever I do get attacked, it's never with a blunt object. I'm always stabbed. I've never been attacked by a blunt object. Actually, wait, I think I butted upside the head with the butt of a gun.
Hmm.
That fucking hurt. In my dream,
Jeez.
anyway.
It ruined my dream
No,
anyway.
let me tell you my most common stabbing one. And I've only had this once, and for some reason I refuse to forget about it because I still don't know what it means. I'm in this grassy maze, and there's a killer after me. Turns out it's a killer clown, and he has a butcher knife. He stabs me, I fall to the ground, and then I realize in my dream I'm not dead. I'm still not waking up. So I pretend to be dead in my dream. Like, I just got stabbed, blah, but I'm not bleeding. I can feel it, but, the killer doesn't know that yet. So I'm just laying there lifeless, trying to pretend to be dead even though I'm really not in the dream. Then the
Mhm.
clown walks over my body. He sees me breathing because I'm trying to hold my breath. He stabs me in the gut again. And then I open my eyes, look up at the clown. I'm like, I'm still alive. He's like, I fucking know. And he starts stabbing me repeatedly in the chest. And then I wake up for real. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, jeez, that's kind of a brutal dream.
I know. So yeah, that's
You see,
so
like,
weird.
I just love it how it's just like, I'm still alive. Like, I know.
That's really what I'm like. Why am I still alive? I don't know.
No, that'd be funny. Like, I hope this clone. I hope this clown knows that I'm not. I'm still alive. Damn it, he's still alive. Damn it, I know. Damn it, I know.
Why are you still alive? I don't
Like, I ask myself the exact same question every day.
know. Oh my god, I'm so gassy. That was loud.
It was so loud.
Mm. This is where I'm ready for bed.
No,
Oh,
no, go
one thing
ahead.
about the last podcast that you didn't talk to me about.
What was that?
You never told me how Wreck-It Ralph 2 was, by the way.
Oh, yeah, actually, I did forget about that, didn't I? I did never tell you.
You just told me you went and saw it, but you never told me how the movie was.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I will explain what the story. Anyway, so yeah, I gotta say, Wreck-It Ralph 2 is actually pretty interesting. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, was it kind of sad in some parts, like especially toward the ending part? Yes, I mean, I kind of almost cried a little bit because of it. It was kind of sad.
Is there going to be a third one?
I do not know. Probably not, but I can't say for certain. I didn't even think there was gonna be a second one, so.
Did what's her name? Penelope?
Hmm.
Is that her name?
That's kind of like the nickname, but
I do. Does she?
no,
Oh
styling.
no. That's a death
Spoilers.
scare.
But no, like I'm not gonna lie, when Jake and Sydney and I went to go see that movie, I told them like I don't want you guys to make fun of it, but I almost kind of cried at the ending part. Like it was kind of sad.
So nobody dies.
No, nobody dies. It's supposed it's supposed to be a happy thing, but it's kind of a heart jerker a little bit.
A tearjerker, you mean?
Yes, a tear jerker. That's what I mean.
You said heart jerker. I'm
It's
like,
it's it's a
anyway,
heart
so
jerk.
like, wait, what is the point of them going onto the internet then? Like, what's the whole story of it? Because I never understood that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna here before I say
You can
spoiler
give
alert.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I think it's a fair to at least say some spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, who sees this podcast.
You have been warned.
You have been
Continue.
warned, mortals.
No, 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 no. Okay, continue.
Okay, so pretty much the whole premise of Wreck-It Ralph 2 is pretty much Ralph and everybody are pretty much content about how things are ever since the events of the first movie. Penelope really isn't, considering like she's pretty much beaten everything in her game. Like there's really nothing new for her. So Ralph very much tries to take it in his own hands to make it kind of interesting. And after some events, Penelope's game gets this well kind of wrecked a little bit. Like the steering wheel breaks off. So her game is pretty much threatened with being unplugged and being destroyed, because you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So, like the game store pretty much gets Wi-Fi, and they take it upon themselves to go onto eBay and find a new steering wheel. So that way they can save the game.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally, this whole thing where Ralph pretty much becomes like an internet superstar by making all these funny videos and all that, by hurting himself and all that. Meanwhile, Vanellope is in a new, more deadly racing game, enjoying like having the time of her life and all that. And that's when she starts to have doubts about moving on instead of just staying in the arcade because she wants more, where Ralph doesn't.
Hmm.
And so like this whole time, like Ralph is having a hard time coming to grips with this whole thing, and he starts to look for a way like to make the game slower, to where Penelope won't want to leave the arcade and come back with him, because they actually do succeed in getting enough money for it.
Hmm.
So Ralph ultimately goes to get a virus for the game to help slow it down, help look for any problems with the game that'll slow it down a lot. Well, it succeeds at first, but ultimately the virus leaves that game and sees like a problem with Ralph, like his clinginess towards Penelope when he explains his whole reasoning behind sabotaging the game. The two kind of she gets mad at him for that. And so the virus looks at Ralph's insecurities and starts to plague the rest of the internet with his insecurities. And that creates a lot of these Ralph clones that are like so clingy and needy and whiny and all that. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a little scary at first because I mean, it's kind of messed up when you think about it.
This movie makes no sense.
You probably have to sit there and see it to make sense of it, but I mean, it wasn't a
From what
bad
you
movie.
just told me, it sounds like something a kid would zone out to in case you're babysitting. That's, you know,
Yeah,
but it's the movie, whatever.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad movie. Like I personally enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty interesting, but that's just me.
Hmm.
For anyone who hasn't gone out there and saw it, or if you find a copy online you want to see it, I would recommend seeing it. But that's just like I said, that's me.
Okay, so explain the scene with the Disney princesses. I'm not
Oh
trying to
my.
sound weird or anything, but I was actually curious about that one.
Okay, now that one actually that part actually cracked me up.
How long do they show up for?
They show up for like
Maybe like
maybe
five
like
minutes.
yeah, 2 to 5 minutes. Like it's not a very long
Okay,
scene.
explain that scene. I'm curious.
All right, so this part's gonna be funny for you because while Penelope's trying to help get viewers for Ralph's video so they can get the money, literally she runs into a bunch of Star Wars troopers and they start chasing her because like she doesn't have.
Oh,
I know that's why I thought you'd like this because she runs into Star Wars troopers, and so
oh, that's funny.
they're sitting there chasing her, trying to get her out of the website, and she glitches into the room with all the Disney princesses, and if you've seen that trailer part right there, that's where all that comes into play. Joe?
Continue.
Okay, first, before I continue, I see we have a viewer up in here, so I want to take a moment and say hello. Anyway, so yeah, so if you've seen obviously the trailer, when she gets in the room, all those Disney princesses are about to kick, like they're sitting there busting shoes and all that. And when she tells them that she's a princess, they all start going off at her like, "Oh my gosh, she is a princess! Like, do you have magic hair? And do animals talk to you and all that?" Like, if you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just curious if they brought back the original voice actors for that scene, like
I
the voice actors for Moana, Frozen, and
I'm actually not
Tangled. And
I'm not actually sure because honestly, they did sound a lot like the original voice actors, but I could be wrong. I'm just gonna say it sounded a lot like them.
someone's gonna look at my phone and be like, "Why do you have Disney voice actors on your phone?" Like,
It's
don't worry about it.
complicated.
Well, that's cool because that's a lot of cameos too. I mean, isn't Wreck-It Ralph Disney anyway,
I think so.
or is it Pixar? Yeah, it's Pixar, ain't it?
I thought it was.
Pixar is CGI one.
I'm not sure. We have the viewer back again. Hello.
There's not a lot of good movies out right now, to be honest.
Not really. I mean, there are movies I would want to go watch and see, but nothing that really attracts my attention.
What would you want to see though?
Hmm. You know, I really don't know what I'd want to go watch right now. Like it would. Hello, Doomgo76. That is your name.
They they're dropping the trailer for Avatar 2.
That they actually are doing that.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually excited for Avatar.
How long has it been since the first movie?
Oh my God, it's been like, wasn't it 2000? I want to say 10.
Was it 2010? Really?
I want to say 10. Hold on,
Dang.
I'm
So
about to Google this.
yeah, Google that because if it's been like almost 8 years, then dang.
I know. I actually God, I will never forget. I had a bad time. It's a great movie, but we made the mistake of seeing the movie in 3D. I hate watching 3D movies.
I'm kind of indifferent about that, really.
Not The Last Airbender.
Oh,
Oh, I was 2009. December 18, 2009.
dang. So it's almost been nine. It's been about 9 years, but it's been close to 10. Nine, nine.
They're saying Avatar 2 is coming out in 2020 of December.
Jeez. That. Oh, see, yeah. Even Doom Ghost 76 said it was 2009.
Yeah.
See,
God.
I love having a fan base that actually interacts with me and actually answers some very vital questions about movies that were about 9 years old.
What's your favorite guilty pleasure movie? Like movies that you like going back and watching.
That is a hard one because there are so many movies that I love to go back and watch.
You know, besides kids movies, I still go back and watch Disney and DreamWorks.
I mean,
What did I say? I said besides kids movies. I'm retarded. You know what? I can't talk today, dude. Don't podcast after work.
no, we podcast after work because apparently that's just fun.
I mean, there are some still like other kid movies that I watch besides Disney and Pixar or DreamWorks.
I mean, really, we all like, no matter how old you are, you still find that one kids movie that you just really like. Honestly.
Studies show that people who watch kids movies are have like higher intelligence because they understand it.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I
Have
mean,
you
you
ever?
watch anime, so what does that say?
You watch a lot. Well, we're not going to get into what watching a lot of anime says right now. That's a subject for another
Yeah.
day.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
Anyway, I was going to say, have you ever heard of a movie called Spaceballs?
Dude, I just got done watching like funny clips from that.
I've never even
That
heard.
movie did not. What?
No, wait, what were you going to say?
You go ahead first. You never heard of what?
I've never heard of Spaceballs. I literally thought that was just some kind of weird random thing someone just threw together and said, "Hey, Spaceballs!" Like, what's up?
Spaceballs is a real movie.
What's the whole premise behind Spaceballs? I've never even heard of it.
It's a Star Wars parody.
Oh, that makes sense.
It is a parody of Star Wars and The Wizard of Oz.
Oh boy.
I'm. You didn't know Spaceballs was a movie?
I didn't know that was a real movie, no.
Oh my God! It didn't age very good, but there's still some funny moments. It does a lot of fourth wall breaking. It's basically a Star Wars parody. It came out back in the 80s, I think.
Hmm. I'm not gonna lie. Oh,
Basically,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll say when you say that, it kind of like when you say that it's like a parody of something, like it literally sounds like an animated porn or something.
No, it's not animated. It's live action.
And that doesn't really help the whole second part of that and Star Trek.
If I buy you a copy of Spaceballs, like cheap on DVD, will you watch it?
I'm gonna tell you this. Don't buy it because I don't really know what I would do with it. I'll look it up on YouTube and see if I can find something about it.
I will take it back. I'll
I,
take
I
back
will
the
take it
copy,
back.
okay? I'm
No
about to title this podcast, Steven has never seen Spaceballs.
discussion on Spaceballs. What do you think?
Like, where did you think the word came from?
I thought it was just something random that someone just said. Like I didn't think it was an actual movie.
Oh my God.
See,
We need to have a long talk about movies.
apparently, you see, now this is what I feel like about doing this podcast and where everybody gets a voice here, because then you actually find out some stuff that honestly you never even knew about.
I know, it's getting a chance to know each other better, and I'm fucking baffled right now.
Yeah, Joe's baffled because he didn't even know that I didn't know what Spaceballs meant.
Steven has never seen Spaceballs. Holy shit.
No, but there have been. You know what? I'm never gonna make that joke. It's too easy to make that joke.
Oh my God, is there anything you else want to talk about before we wrap up the podcast?
Hmm. Nah, I
Any other
really
thing that's
nothing.
happened the last week?
Me aside from the fact that people are crazy for McDonald's and people need to stop eating so much.
That too.
Oh, check it out really quick. I just want to say one thing. I love it how at my work, like, I don't know if you've ever new follow. Thank you, Doomgo76, for the subscription or following or however you want to call it.
Hey.
He deserves a shout out. Or she, I don't know what. It deserves a shout out.
It
Anyway,
deserves a shout out.
it deserves a shout out. Anyway,
Continue.
have you worked with Sarah recently?
Which Sarah?
The manager one? Probably not.
Nope.
I was gonna say like he. Thank you for the correction. I did not know. He. Now we
Continue.
have confirmation. Anyway, so like Sarah had been walking around here recently of like those Christmas lights that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And yesterday she came in and she's like, "Here, Steven, you can have these lights. Like I got these Mickey Mouse ones from Disney World, and you should have heard the noise I made when I got those things." Literally, she looked at me. She's like, "Here, Steven, you can have these lights. Like I have extras at my house." I'm like, "Eee, I love these lights."
Is that sarcasm, I sense?
That was not sarcasm. That was literally me being 100% genuine. Like, "Eee."
Why?
I don't know. That was the only noise I could come up with at the time. And plus, we were busy, so that's all I could muster was "Eee."
Yeet.
I even looked at like all the little Mexican ladies in the kitchen, like, "I love these lights."
You're so weird.
Literally, they sat there and they laughed at me. Especially one of them, they laughed at me. I'm like, laugh at me if you
Sh
want to, but I love these lights.
Manager Shannon was actually wearing a pair. I'm like, hey, where did you get those? And she's like, the office. You want a pair? I'm like, no.
Well, I got a pair and I'm happy with it.
It's just clutter.
No, watch. The day of Christmas Eve, I'm gonna come in there with like a Christmas hat and my lights. Like, I'm festive, my peoples. I am festive.
Oh, did they ever talk to you about the gift exchange for Christmas?
Oh yeah, the Secret Santa thing.
Did you do it?
No,
Oh, you sound so sad.
no. Like, I'm not even trying to sound sad about it. Like, I'm being absolutely dead serious. Like, I'm not doing that Secret Santa thing.
Well, two things. One, I did it last year, and because it was only me and Melissa that did it,
Yeah, I remember that.
I she got me a book. I got her like a tea, some sort of mug because I knew she was into tea at the time.
Hmm.
And then guess what? So this year it goes by like two ways, you know. You have to give a gift and then you also get one by somebody.
Yes, you gotta give and get.
Get and give. So the person I had to buy for was Charity.
Hmm.
So my mom had to go out and pick out a perfume.
Oh,
You know,
pick
Miss
out a perf.
Charity.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we got her perfume. And guess who got me?
Who got you?
Shannon.
Oh, Manager Shannon got you?
Yup.
Oh, what'd she get you?
So I don't know.
Oh.
I so I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, shoot, she probably doesn't know what to get me. So I walk up to Shannon. I'm like, hey, if you need help with a gift, I'm really into Star Wars. And she's like, it's okay, you're easy. And I'm like, damn.
Damn. Damn
Snicker, right?
it.
All right,
Oh,
we're gonna have to cut this podcast because I
oh
gotta
wait,
take a poop.
wait, hang on 1 second. I want to acknowledge something.
Hurry up.
All right. Doomgo76, I really appreciate the understanding about the gender thing, because really you never know the gender specifications. You never understand it. But thank you for that, though. He, he deserves some reinforcement. Some
Oh my
okay, you know what? That you got it. You understand what I'm saying.
god. I'm getting cold chills because I gotta poop.
TMI, Joe.
I'm literally
TMI.
looking at the camera like, hurry up.
Like, okay, I gotta look at this later.
The room is starting to smell.
Uh, okay, yeah, we gotta end this up now.
I'm gross. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
All right, see you later, everybody. See you next week.